We begin tonight with breaking news. The Missouri State Highway Patrol has issued a blue alert out of Hermann, Missouri in Gasconade County. It's about 90 minutes west of St. Louis. We have just learned that 2 police officers were shot. At this time, we don't know the extent of their injuries. We are working on that. Blue alerts are issued to alert the public for someone who has killed, seriously injured, or poses a credible threat to law enforcement. We're working to find out exactly what has happened in Hermann. They are looking for a Kenneth Lee Simpson, who was driving a black Jeep Wrangler. We will bring you any new information when it becomes available, both on air and on the 5 on Your Side app. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Ann Allred has the night off. Our top story tonight, the St. Louis Battlehawks are once again the success story of the XFL. More than 38,000 fans packed the Dome at America's Center for today's home opener. And we have team coverage tonight. Let's start with Sports Director Frank Cusimano. Frank?
Mike, I got to tell you, on the first third down that the Arlington Renegades faced today at the Dome, the sound was deafening, almost greatest show on turf deafening. This just in, we love our football. The most talked about number in St. Louis is now 38,310, the most ever in the XFL and the most ever in a professional spring football game. And the Battlehawks obliged by dominating the game. Brian Hill, the pride of Belleville West, had a terrific touchdown. The Battlehawks win it 24-13, and the owner of the league seemed impressed.
You know, I come from a wrestling background. I know live events. I love that energy. But this is absolutely 100 times better. Bringing football back to this town and the amount of passion, because the fans have been reaching out for years.
The Battlehawks will host the Defenders next Saturday night at 6 o'clock. It will be busy that night in our town with St. Louis City SC also in action. Mike?
Frank, thanks. Now, the XFL says today's crowds inside the Dome set an attendance record for spring football. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski continues our team coverage. She caught up with fans before and after the game.
Mike, while it's all quiet now, the energy around the Dome today for the Battlehawks' first game at home of the season was truly electric, and fans were cawing about that win all the way home.
Fans showed up bright and early to start tailgating outside the Dome to welcome the St. Louis Battlehawks home after years of not knowing if the XFL would return.
We were a little too young to have gotten in on the action with the Rams and tailgating then, so when the Battlehawks came to town, we were so excited.
The Wentzville Liberty Band played to lead the players into battle in front of a sold-out crowd.
We've been excited for this for so long, for the Battlehawks to come back and be in town, and for St. Louis to represent again, and I mean, we're showing up.
Fans say it was a constant roar inside the Dome as the Battlehawks took on the Arlington Renegades and beat them 24-11.
They were like STL, caw. There were people with their shirts off. People were going, there was just cause the law. That was what people were going with today for sure.
The energy, the vibes, I really like the sportsmanship of both teams. It was just way different than the NFL.
The Dome was so packed they ran out of food and beer, according to the fans, but it was still an experience that filled a cup that was empty for so long.
Having football back, coming back to the Dome, a Battlehawks win, which we got.
We're a sports town. You saw what happened with the soccer team. It's just the same with this. I mean, we love our sports, so it'll be here for a while, I think, for sure.
The Battlehawks play again here at the Dome next Saturday at 6 o'clock against DC, and that'll be surely a game we can't miss, and the fans are hoping to fill up the Dome again. Reporting live in St. Louis, Laura Barczewski, 5 on Your Side.
Well, it's a chilly night across St. Louis. Some of you saw some rain mixed with a little sleet, and it's going to be a chilly start to the work week. Let's check in with Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell.
You know, temperatures the next couple of mornings are going to be down below freezing around the St. Louis area. And today we saw just a little bit of clearing late in the afternoon, early in the evening, just like you see that Judy shared with us from Crystal City. Yes, that was the sun breaking through the clouds. And then we had a little band slide through. That band band of a little rain and occasionally a couple of little sleet pellets mixed in. As it's pressed onto the south and east over the last couple of hours, it has fallen apart. Temperatures, though, are chilly. We're down into the mid-30s here. 20s not too far away to our north. So chilly nights are ahead. Clouds are going to linger into Monday. We should be below freezing probably for the next 3 mornings. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning. It'll be warmer Wednesday afternoon with rain by Thursday. We're tracking it in about 15 minutes, Mike.
All right, Scott, we'll see you then. Developing tonight, the major case squad has been activated to investigate a deadly overnight shooting in the Metro East. Investigators say 38-year-old Paul Kirby was found dead inside a home in the 400 block of South 29th Street in Belleville. No arrests have been made. Anyone with information is asked to call the major case squad at 618-355-9793. Tonight, St. Louis County Police are investigating 2 separate homicides in North County. The first happened around noon yesterday on Glenvale Court. That's off 367 and Jamestown Way. 21-year-old Paul Stidham was found dead inside a home. A 17-year-old juvenile was taken into police custody. Police have not yet released a motive. And tonight, police looking for the person who shot and killed a man inside a North County apartment. That shooting happened around 7:15 last night on Dragonwick Drive. That's near the North Hanley Metrolink station. Investigators are still seeking information on both shootings. You can call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS to remain anonymous. New tonight as Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner digs in to defend against the push to expel her from office. Former prosecutors who used to work for her say she's refusing their offers to help out with the heavy workload. Now, some Democrats are considering running against her next year. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is here with the latest. Mark?
Mike, Kim Gardner's supporters continue to flex their political muscle while she prepares to defend her record in court. Recent polling shows Gardner losing support from Democrats, so her backers took to the streets today to rally her base, uniting them against Republicans.
They're trying to take the power back in this city. They're trying to take us back 200 years.
A few dozen of Kim Gardner's most ardent supporters marched down Market Street Sunday afternoon and rallied on the steps outside her office.
Because white supremacy is determined to bring down Kimberly Gardner, and we refuse to allow that to happen.
Organizers accused Missouri Republicans of a political power play to push a black woman out of elected office, but activists also lashed out at Mayor Tashara Jones.
It's the black leadership who turned their backs and made comments that sparked this fire.
Her statement was very disturbing.
Gardner's backers felt betrayed when the mayor called on Gardner to consider whether she still wanted the job as the city's top prosecutor.
You can't talk about loyalty if you don't talk about disloyalty. They're stabbing her in the back because she represents the community.
Recent polling shows Gardner's public support plummeting, down to just 23% of likely voters in 2024. Numbers so low, her supporters couldn't believe it.
I find it amazing that I hear a report about a poll being taken, but yet I never got a call.
The same poll showed typical partisan divides, and her strongest base of support from 46% of black voters.
The poll that matters is the one that the people did, and the people elected her twice.
I believe in free and fair elections, and I do recognize that Ms. Gardner has been elected twice by the city of St. Louis.
Could you vote for Kim Gardner again?
No.
Civil rights lawyer Pat Hammaker ran for circuit attorney in 2016 when it was an open seat.
Ms. Gardner, certainly some of the attacks against her are definitely racial. I vehemently disagree with those attacks.
Hammaker worked for Gardner as an assistant circuit attorney and says he avoided criticizing her publicly for years because he felt her staff was swamped and to this day needs more prosecutors to shoulder the workload.
This office is on the brink. It is very short-staffed. That's leading to issues with dropping cases, and then refiling these cases. That's not fair to the victims. That's not fair to the defendants in these cases.
Some progressive Democrats have asked Hammaker if he might consider running for circuit attorney again next year. He hasn't committed to that just yet, but said he and other prosecutors are standing ready to help her prosecute those cases. But so far, he says she's refused to take up their offer.
Tonight, some Missouri dispensaries are green with envy.
There are a lot of empty shelves out there.
The high demand and regulations causing a cannabis shortage in the Show Me State. He turned his life around after prison only to lose his leg to gun violence.
I had to heal emotionally.
How he's now making a difference, helping other amputees.
While some of us did have a little rain, even a bit of sleet this evening, most of us will see dry weather until later in the week. A look at how that impacts your St. Patrick's Day plans in 7 minutes.
We want to update you on some breaking news out of Gasconade County. Right now, police searching for a man suspected of shooting 2 Hermann police officers. Hermann is, of course, about 90 minutes west of St. Louis. We do not know at this time the extent of the officers' injuries. The Missouri State Highway Patrol is looking for Kenneth Lee Simpson, who could be driving a black Jeep Wrangler. We'll bring you any new information when it becomes available, both on air here and on the 5 on Your Side app. Just a month after recreational marijuana sales went into effect in Missouri, high demand is leading to a shortage at dispensaries across the Show Me State. According to the wholesale platform LeafLink, Missouri is the only market in the top 20 by size facing a shortage instead of a surplus. Suppliers are receiving huge orders from new retailers.
There was a lot of product that was put away with the anticipation of A3 passing. Now I think they've already gone through the product that they put away. The recreational users are taking up what the patients would have used, so the patients are running out now.
The state of Missouri has capped the number of cultivator licenses to 60, meaning they will have to grow more to meet demand. He's been shot, he's been to prison, and he's been injured so badly his leg had to be amputated. But somewhere along the way, he decided it was time to change. As you'll learn in tonight's Making a Difference report, a local man started taking small steps in a new direction, and that was the biggest step of all.
Premier Prosthetics, this is Angie. Can I help you?
At Premier Prosthetics in Kirkwood, the aim is finding the perfect fit.
Great, so that'll be a consultation.
That's in products as well as people. Like certified peer specialist Anthony Taylor.
Anybody that's dealing with limb loss, man, we want them to have that same hope we have.
I've had it for 2 years now.
So it's sensitivity and service first.
This alignment is amazing.
But also technology and craftsmanship.
We just give patients the ability to return back to a normal way of life.
It was for me to be secured.
And perhaps no one knows better than Anthony how to turn a setback into a comeback.
Police say the 2 women were shot in the head.
He was just 12 when news cameras showed up on his doorstep after his mom was murdered. Being so young, he says, it was hard to process. And as he got older, it was hard to let go of the anger. He ended up with the wrong crowd and then ended up in jail for armed robbery, devastating the grandmother who stepped in to raise him.
I end up, serving my time and doing everything I can to prove to her that I'm not the guy that they say I am.
Determined to head in the right direction after that wrong turn, he went back to school after being released. He got an associate's degree in business and a bachelor's degree in accounting. Then trouble found him again.
So this particular night, I get out the car, I heard gunshots. So I try to break and run back to the car because I'm in my mind, I'm like, I'm fast. So when I tried to run back to the car, I was hit in the leg, in the stomach.
Doctors saved Anthony, but they couldn't save his left leg. It had to be amputated below the knee. He was once again in a very dark place until he met Manny Rivera.
I said, if you trust me, I will make sure that we get you back up walking. Let's make sure we align that correctly.
Rivera helped start Premier Prosthetics.
And just do the posterior.
And he was offering Anthony some hope.
Good. Move your arms up.
Hope, it turns out, was the best medicine of all.
Learning that, you know what I'm saying? So that's looking a lot better.
Anthony decided if he was going to be anything, then attitude was everything.
If you don't change mentally, you can't change physically. So I had to heal emotionally. So that kind of do the heal the tough.
These days, Anthony is not only working on getting his master's degree in accounting,
he's
working with other amputees.
It's about us helping each other day to day.
He leads a support group here at Premier.
Anthony is being a voice to the community of amputees to give them hope and let them know that it is going to be tough, but you can do it.
So my leg is going to be the...
Anthony now wears a microprocessor prosthetic with a computerized knee that can adjust 50 times per second.
But he says the focus should be on humanity, not technology.
Believe in you. Just simply believe in you. What would you say a day-to-day challenge for yourself is?
With pain as his fuel, Anthony wants to make a difference for others.
Go ahead, Dad.
He's one of those people who, after losing so much,
Look, Mom, no hands.
found his strength.
He is living life without limitations.
Anthony has been waking up early every day and working out for a couple of hours because one of his new goals is to get good enough at a sport to compete in the Paralympics. A reminder, if you know an inspiring person or someone making a difference for others, let me know by email at mbush@ksdk.com. Right now, a Missouri American water crews are working to fix a large water main break in Maryland Heights. It caused a large geyser of water on Creve Coeur Mill Road this afternoon. This is right in front of Pattonville High School. Repairs could take a few more hours. Some homes in the area are still without water tonight, and we're still waiting to hear back about how it's affecting the school. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell rejoins us with our weather first forecast, and it's going to be a chilly start to the week.
You know, there's a lot happening weather-wise across the area over the course of the next few days. Something that happened this afternoon, it was brief, but when the Battlehawks won, the skies parted and we saw some sunshine in St. Louis. It didn't last long, though, as the clouds rolled back in. Those clouds led to a few sprinkles, some lighter showers, even a little bit of sleet mixed in with that for the day. Temperatures are now down into the mid-30s across much of the metro area, still around 40 in DeSoto, 39 in Sparta. Pittsfield's down to 31, Warrenton's at 32. We have a bit of a breeze, too, but as you see on the radar pictures here, our weather first Doppler radar pressing anything that's left in terms of rainfall or a little bit of sleet out of the area pretty quickly this evening. We are down to 36, but with that stiff northwest wind, it feels like it's 26 degrees right now. Not feeling like it's March. 46 was the high today. Our average high is 55. We did pick up 1/100 of an inch of a little bit of rain and a little bit of sleet this evening, just enough to get the roads wet. It'll stay breezy overnight. Clouds may try to thin out in a few places, but they'll roll back in by daybreak. And then tomorrow, mostly cloudy conditions, still keeping that chilly breeze, upper 30s to around 40 degrees for the high temperatures tomorrow. Tuesday and Wednesday are quiet days. Our next weather system, it arrives as we head into Thursday afternoon. This is going to be a rainmaker for us. The breeze will really pick back up again on Wednesday into Thursday, and it brings warmer air ahead of this system, but also brings some decent moisture with it. So we'll get some rainfall, maybe a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. A lot of wind, though, and as this system presses onto the east and northeast, we're wrapping the cold air around the backside of the system. Winds are going to get gusty as we head through the day. On Friday, St. Patrick's Day around St. Louis, it is going to be blustery and gusty over in Dogtown. Windy, cold, maybe some sprinkles or flurries possibly in the morning. Temperatures most of the day on Friday will be in the 30s, especially after about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Highs will be early in the day, and that wind, northwest, 15 to 25, it'll make it feel like it's in the 20s for your St. Patrick's Day. So a few extra layers if you're heading to Dogtown on Friday, or if you're tailgating Saturday afternoon ahead of the Battlehawks' next home game. It'll feel more like some of those December games when the Rams were in town. It's going to have a winter feel to it as we head towards the end of the week. 63 your warmest temperature out of the next 10 days, Mike.
All right, Scott, thanks. Taxing tips. Tonight claims that the IRS is taking a closer look at service workers. We verify. When Congress approved billions in new funding for the IRS, it came with the promise the money wouldn't be used to crack down on the middle class. Tonight, our Verify team looks into recent articles claiming the IRS is already poised to break that promise. Here's Casey Decker.
You might have seen articles going around claiming the IRS is about to crack down on tips earned by people in the service industry. So let's verify. Is the IRS changing how tips get taxed? Our sources are the IRS, the Treasury Department, and the Joint Committee on Taxation. Tips have been considered taxable income for decades, meaning waitstaff have to report all the tips they get to the IRS. That is not changing. What's changing potentially is the logistics of how the IRS knows how much should be reported. Starting in the 90s, the IRS created 3 programs employers could opt into. Each program creates a set of rules for tip reporting, and the deal is if your business follows the rules, it won't get audited. For example, one program uses a formula to estimate the minimum amount of tips a worker should probably report. As long as the workers aren't reporting a number below that, the IRS won't audit them. But the IRS says they've gotten a lot of requests to update the programs. So it's worked out a proposed replacement, one that incorporates digital tipping data to make better estimates. This reflects how much tipping is done on tablets and apps now. Right now, the IRS is just requesting public comment on this new program, meaning all of this could change. But regardless of what happens, the actual laws on tip reporting won't change. Servers would still need to report and pay taxes on their tips as normal, but some of the paperwork their employers file with the IRS, which the IRS could use as a signal of underreporting, that could change. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
What would you like us to verify? Send an email to verify@ksdk.com. Celebrating St. Louis, the opportunities this week to explore the 314. Well, Tuesday is 314 Day, a day to celebrate all things St. Louis. The celebration has already begun. Today, 10 neighborhoods took part in the 314 Day neighborhood crawl. More than 150 local businesses participated. More events will take place over the next couple of days. For a full list, text 314 to 314-425-5355. And Friday is St. Patrick's Day. And 5 on your side will be in Dogtown for the Ancient Order of Hibernians Parade. Look for our 5+ live bus and storm tracker. If you can't make it down, we'll stream the parade live on 5+. It's free on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. Don't forget to start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. Paul Cook joins the team as our new traffic anchor. And here's Frank Cusimano with Sports Plus.